Welcome to another week of the Layla Show. I'm your host, Layla Ziari, and you know the drill. We have guests on to have conversations about all things consciousness, philosophy, love, life, whatever flows. So this week we have our guest, Cindi Buckley, and she is an author. She has written two books that help to inspire everybody to make a positive change in their lives. She spent 15 years in the corporate world in the areas of logistics and software consulting and changed her life direction. For over 20 years, she has been helping hundreds of people through meaningful life transitions such as death of a loved one, opening to spirit, and finding the courage to make a change for the better. So welcome. Welcome.
Hello, thank you.
All right, so another fellow author. So tell us a bit about yourself and just like, I don't know, just this journey. So you were obviously in corporate at one point, which is a
I
whole other.
was. I never want to do it again. Let's put it that way.
Never want to do it once. So
Oh, I think corporate is hard work. There's too many people bickering with everybody else, trying to get attention, and it's just a nightmare, if I must say.
I mean, I agree. I guess that's why I'm still a struggling artist because that world just, never appealed to me. So, anyways, like, how did you get into writing in general?
Well, actually, I was told in my early 40s I was going to be writing, and mostly writing inspirational sayings. And I thought, and I went on a tirade, no way, and I swore and all that stuff. I am not going to be doing any of that stuff. No way, it's not happening. You can fight spirit all you want, but you're going to eventually do it anyway. So what ended up happening was a friend gave me the book Disappearance of the Universe by Gary Aronard. And as soon as I started reading it, I went, oh my God, I have to become a Course in Miracles student. I have to read the book. So I did Disappearance of the Universe, A Course in Miracles, and the workbook in A Course in Miracles at the same time, which I would not recommend you do. Your ego is going to get challenged like you have no idea. And then during this process, I started getting inspirational sayings coming to me. I'd be in a restaurant. I need something to write on, napkin, pen. Oh, I had lots of little pieces of paper everywhere. I'd wake up in the middle of the night. I'd remember. No, I did not remember. Started having paper and pen on the nightstand. And then after a couple of years, it stopped, and I went off into my chosen modality after experiencing and exploring lots of different ones, which is crystal healings. And about 18 years later, I said, I think I should write a book. And it wasn't until I got done with the book that I said, she was right. I am going to write a book with inspirational sayings. There you go.
I love it. You literally can't fight destiny. And also like now I'm looking into your background and admiring your crystal collections. I love crystals, but like damn that's
Oh, we're in the process of moving, so I had to pack up almost all my crystals, and all I have left there is the big ones.
okay, but
I have,
their feng shui is correct. Like it's flowing nicely.
well, yeah, actually, I packed one crystal and I went, oh, damn, I had to go find the box and unpack it because the last one wasn't right, and it has to be right. And I'm hearing, it doesn't matter, no one's gonna care. And I'm like, but
I
I
care.
care. Hello. It
No,
has, I have to enjoy coming into this room. So,
no, I completely understand. Crystals always have to have a place. I mean, I like mine perpetually move. I yesterday I had one of those days where I was just like, you know what? There's just not enough flow. So we gotta move it and flow it. But
I say to my husband, everything's fine. And then one day I wake up and go, nope, it irritates me and it has to change.
I mean, isn't that life, right? Like what you were saying before. I mean, okay, so the Course in Miracles, I mean, I hear a lot about I've never actually taken it. Apparently, it's not recommended to do both of your things at the same time unless you
Yeah, I
want
would.
unless you want a quick pace ego death. And you know what? Some of us are about doing it quick, speedy. Let's just bang it all out. So
I know, but quick, quick doesn't last. Let's face it.
no, it doesn't. It
You
really
got
does.
to do it slow. I would recommend read The Disappearance of the Universe first because it is so helpful in understanding A Course in Miracles. It's a
Okay.
big, thick, fat book, but it's worth it. Take your time, go fast. I don't. If you go fast, you're not going to get it anyway. So you got to go
That's
slow,
true.
because your ego gets challenged, and it's presented in his life story, and meeting some ascended masters. It's just a really good book.
I mean, everybody you hear, everybody listening, if you're listening out there, read this book. I want to read this book. But I mean, I think you're right though. I think the fast is something. I mean, I've published 2 books now myself, just poetry, but I'm like writing a novel right now about my life. And it's like, I don't know. It's just like I've done everything kind of, let's go, let's go, let's keep on going, even though like I've never worked for corporate, I've never worked anything normal, but it's always just been like, quick, quick, let's speed through. And then, like one day I moved to the south of France, and all of the fact that I had like learned a little bit, but not actually taking the time to integrate those things fully into myself smacked me down so hard. And I was in this foreign country, literally just being abused with all my toxic patterning looking at me in my face that I thought I had addressed. And I was like, holy shit. I didn't do a good job. Like, and so I think you're right. Like you really can't rush the process. And I mean, I know people like me are like a glutton for knowledge and I want it all and I want it fast, but it's like you really have to take your time with these things. And just because you learn something doesn't mean you've integrated it in its completion into your system.
So true, so true. I've been studying A Course in Miracles now for 18, 19 years. I still have more to go. I mean, it's a process. I mean, things are a lot easier than they were in the beginning, believe me. I actually ended up doing the workbook twice. I did it once, and then at about 7 years, everything was blowing up, and anything and everything that could go wrong was. And I thought, I'm just not getting this. It's not really sinking in. So I actually read and did the workbook again. And I don't feel the need to do it again. I still feel the need to read the book, but not to do the workbook again because, I mean, it's not the only way to reach enlightenment. It is probably the fastest way.
Right. And I mean, that makes sense. I mean, there's so many different modules out there, so many different teachers out there. And I do think it's all about choosing the one that resonates most with you.
Yeah.
But I mean, I hear a lot of people I follow have said great things about the Course in Miracles. But I mean, I think it holds value too to be able to do that workshop book one more time, because at that point you have integrated a lot of stuff and you are coming at it from a different perspective. And it is interesting to go back to whatever. I know you're still reading it because we're always growing, we're always learning. I don't think we're ever done. But when you can come back at it in a different perspective, it's like looking at it for the first time almost. It's like,
I know, and you'll actually understand the words. I'm like, wow, I didn't get it the first 2 times. I'm getting it now the third time. I'm like, oh yeah, wow, wow. And all of a sudden everything just sort of clicks. It's fun.
I love that. So I guess maybe that's what happened with you. So okay, so someone once upon a time was like, "Hey girl, you're gonna write this book," and you're like, "Fuck no, no way,
Correct.
absolutely not." I understand it's happened to me a million times in life. Someone's like, "You're gonna end up here," and I'm like, "Over my dead body," and I'm like, and then here I am, and I'm like, "You were right," and he's like, "Mm-hmm," but no one can ever tell you you're wrong, Layla. Like, damn sure they cannot, and that's obviously my ego, but she's not a tame beast. She's not a tame beast. So, so you tell us more about the books in general.
Well, basically, the book's Love Awakens You and Now Love Saves You. It's about understanding and recognizing the difference between love and fear. Because fear is so pervasive in our lives, we aren't aware of it. And believe me when I say we really aren't aware of it, we really aren't. Because ego's devious, it's
It
sneaky, it just
sure is
put these
the
little
devious
pinchers
mistress.
in and hooks you. Um, and the first book really helps to open you up to your intuition, to your higher guidance. And this is a good thing because the more you listen to your guidance, the more your life will flow with ease and grace, which is really nice. You're still going to have challenges, don't get me wrong, but you're going to take them more in stride and you're going to go, "Oh, well, I'll get through it. Okay, I'm in the middle of a move. I'm moving from Arizona in the US to California,
My favorite place.
and I'm going to open a retreat. And I have no idea how to open a business. I'm just taking one step at a time. And, this all just happened in the past 6 weeks.
I am here for that. I'm loving it. Okay, first of all, I have so much to say about that. But first of all, where in California? Because that's the only place in the world that really feels like home to me. So,
Actually, we just bought a house in Atascadero, California, which is in San Luis Obispo County, the Central Coast.
it's
So we're
very
about 20 miles from the ocean. And I was getting a little nervous because, about a month earlier, we'd gone on vacation. A couple weeks before we went on vacation, I was hearing the word retreat, 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 and it was getting louder. And I'm like, I'm not doing a retreat, I'm not. And it kept getting so loud, I finally said, okay, all right, I'm do it, but you find me the money. Okay,
yeah,
because, I need money.
right.
And then we're driving through on vacation. We were in Ventura, Thousand Oaks, and going up to Sequoia National and Kings Canyon National Park. And we went and drove through San Luis Obispo area, and I went, oh my God. You know those feelings, you don't get them very often.
Oh, I
It's like
sure do.
this peace, calming. Oh, this is wonderful. Came home. I'm like, I live in the Phoenix, Arizona area. Okay,
Are
and
you
Fahrenheit.
not dying? Like, can you go outside?
You go outside, you tolerate.
Okay.
Okay, it's 110 where I live. It's 120 in Phoenix.
Ow.
And oh my God, it's hot. And
Yeah.
I finally said, I can't do this heat anymore. I just can't. We're moving. And
Yeah,
that,
love it.
you know, and then I remembered, this is the funny part. When we were moving here, we were moving from San Francisco Bay Area on the
My
East Bay.
homeland.
And then we were coming to Arizona because as a child, I always knew I was moving to the Southwest. And my guides are telling me, you're going to move back to California. Oh, hell no, I'm not. Oh, no, I'm never coming back here. Oh, it's too expensive. This long spiel of I was never going to do it. And when I say never, I meant it. I put it out of my mind. I
We always
completely
mean never when we say
stopped.
it.
Oh, I know. And I'm standing in the kitchen. My husband's sitting, and I went, oh my God. 22 years ago plus, they told me we were moving back to California. And lo and behold, I'm moving back to California. The retreat thing was new as of a few weeks ago, 6 maybe weeks ago. And yeah, I'm just doing it.
I wholeheartedly love that.
I have no clue. I'm just listening to my guidance and I'm following the path and I'm not, it's very expensive in California. I'm going to worry about it later. They're going to help
No,
me take
literally
care of
just
it.
don't worry about it. Just do what you're supposed to do. And that's like literally that's how I've based pretty much every single decision I've made in my life. And some, like I said, I mean, of course, like some have not resulted in the way that my sunshine, rainbows, and butterflies mind thought they were going to. Like everything always finds a way when it's meant to be, even if it's like for the sanctity of your own complete and utter self-destruction so that you can rebuild yourself, like, good, bad. But, the money always comes, the things always go, and you just got to go with that. And I love it. I love when something's so loud, and you can ignore it. You can ignore it, but,
You could
you can't,
try.
you can't run from it forever. And the more you try to run from it and you just don't embrace it, like the harder you make it for yourself, I feel. So,
True.
embrace it.
I know. So yeah, it's going to be fun. That's how I choose to look at it. So there you go.
It's going to be a journey, it's going to be an adventure.
Yeah.
And who wants anything other than an adventure, That's what
Oh
life
my
is
God,
about.
I've so needed a project for so long. I don't have a mind that can focus on one thing at a time. I'm kind of like one of those people that goes, I need a lot to do at once. Okay, moving's not so much fun, but I'm in the middle of that as well,
There's a
packing
lot
things
of
up.
things to do when you're moving.
Yeah, I got to put the house on the market, so that's coming up, I think, in a couple weeks. So,
Well, that's very exciting though. And I mean, I don't know anybody who is on this path whose mind isn't in like 27 billion different places. Like, God bless that person who is just like, this is my thing. I'm like, no, 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 no. These are all my things. These are all
I
these
know.
these are all my little projects. They all matter. In what timeline they matter, I don't know. That's not really up to me. But they're all relevant. They're all important. Can't. But I mean, I think it's going to be an exciting journey. Have you gotten any downloads? Do you have any ideas what's going to go on in this retreat? Or you're just like
I
wholeheartedly,
absolutely know what's going on in this retreat.
well, tell me about it.
Well, I do crystal healings. That's my chosen modality after exploring a variety of different things. And I have, a 6-month program, and you come once a month. And the first 3 months are about clearing out and balancing, getting all your chakras and bodies all aligned. And then the next 3 months are about raising your vibration. And you come and I work on you. The guides work on you. I'm just the facilitator. I'm really not the healer. And they go home with you for a month. You come back in a month. We do the next burst, and then so because if you were to do it without the guides, it'd be years. So we could able to get it done in a 6-month program. So I'll be doing crystal healings, teaching classes on love versus fear and how to connect to your intuition. I'll be teaching on how to do the different types of, intuition ways of people, hear or see or feel or know. And other people will be teaching classes. Basically, it's dedicated to healing of the mind because that's where everything starts.
Mhm.
And there'll be an open pavilion people can come visit. There'll be a silence garden, not a meditation garden, but a silence garden. You are not allowed to speak or make any noise there. And once you pass through the arch, you go in. It's very, very quiet. It's like sensory deprivation. And I'll have a library of books that you can, read while you're on the premise, and then if you're so inclined, buy them. There'll be another treatment room. I'm hoping someone will come and set up color healing.
Ooh,
Color
okay.
healing is so important. Get you all in the right mix of colors that each person is, because
Oh
everybody's
yeah.
different. And I don't know what's going to happen in there. The center section, that there'll be other gardens. I'm leaning towards, a vegetable and herb garden that people can come work on.
I love that. Well, hey, if you need sound healer people, you keep me in mind.
I will. I will.
Yeah, I think that's amazing. So you do know what you're gonna do. I don't know. That's you got it all. You got it all, except of course, like the venue and the money that comes. That's like the least of
I
the
got the money now. My brother's going to help with that. He'll be part ownership in the
what a
retreat.
slay. That's
I
amazing.
know. I know. I'm like, find me money. I get money.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like, when you ask for it and it's, you don't need it, it doesn't present
No,
itself.
Okay, so I have this in Love Saves You. There are three little tiny exercises you do.
Yes.
Okay. And the first exercise is, what are your 3 wishes? The genie.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I'm like, I'm rubbing a genie lamp in my mind.
Running the genie lamp, and the genie comes out, and you have 3 wishes. To this day, I only have two. I don't have a third one. I guess I'll be the one that releases the genie.
Give us
But
a genie.
I'm going to tell you what my two are because it'll help you to think in a different way.
Okay.
My first one is to be able to communicate and understand all methods of communication in the universe.
That's a good wish.
Okay? And the reason why I pick that is so that if I go travel to a foreign country or other beings come visit me, I can understand them. Sign language or,
Light language.
written language, doesn't matter, all language, all methods of communication. I didn't want to say language because some people communicate telepathically.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Okay?
Wow.
That's wish number one. Wish number two is to always have the money I need,
Bingo.
not the money I want. If I
Hmm.
need $5, I will have just $5.
Hmm.
If I need $100, if I need $1 million, I will have just what I need when I need it. Nothing more, nothing less. When you do this, it's very freeing because you know you're going to be taken care of, right? And you don't have to worry about hoarding, as so many people are, to cover those times
Hoarding
when
money all the
things
time.
Yeah, it's still a good idea to save. Don't get me wrong. I save. It's a good idea to save for those times when things aren't good, but still know that you're going to be taken care of. Has anybody ever had been their checking account really low?
Yeah.
Yes. And all of a sudden you're able to pay your bills and you don't know how?
Oh, 111%. I mean,
Okay.
I literally have traveled the world for the last like 12 years, and people have asked me this whole time, like, how did you do it? And I'm like, I can't give you that answer. They're like, how did you get money? And I was like, I don't know.
Exactly. So,
I never know.
exactly. So, I mean, there were times where we had bills, and I mean lots of bills, in a house, of course, bills, 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 and I had enough to pay it. So it's just that wish of, so do your three wishes, write them down,
That's my
read
homework.
the book, do it again at the end to see if your answers have changed.
Okay. I like this. I like this exercise. I like that your books come with exercises. This is
Well, the first one doesn't because all you have to do is read. It actually will release. It's like a locking. What happens is because of the way the words are put together, you just read the book, and as you read the book, a tumbler, a lock opens up, and then another lock opens up, and more light and love comes out. Yes, can this be possible? Absolutely. It is how the words are put together. Read the book slowly, and it will do that. Now, Love Saves You goes further into fear, so I've got three very simple exercises up front, and then at the end of the book, I've put some helpful tips that I do that I have found works for me and for other people as well. You just have to try them. Don't try more than one a day so you can see if it works for you.
me and
Don't
Melissa.
be in a
Oh,
rush.
now. I know you. Yes, say that to me. Say it to me because
Don't be in
I
a
will.
rush.
Okay. Calm yourself, Lila. No, like really. But I think the fear thing is so important because, like you said before, I mean, there's like surface level fear that we're all aware of, like consciously aware fear, but there is like so much subconscious fear that we have no, like I have so much of it that has been holding me back this entire year for literally no reason. And I'm like addressing that and looking at it, and it's like, you've never had these fears before. Like, I don't know where this came from, but like and it wasn't something I was even aware that I was like afraid of. I know I'm consciously, I'm terrified of heights. Okay. Consciously, that's really the only conscious because I don't, I don't fear traveling alone. I don't fear going after whatever my passions or whatever. But you know what I fear is like, I don't know. I guess right now I feel like not making the right decision, which there is no right or wrong decision, but I'm at a weird place in my life where every single decision I made in my life up to this point was a clear, very clear, like you move here now. You do this now. And so like I never had to question that because I was so sure that that's what I was doing. And right now I'm like I'm not really sure of anything.
Oh,
I'm
everybody's going through that right now. It's a mix up of, clearing out energies, and you can't move until you clear it out, by the way,
You
just so you know.
can't. I know. And I guess that's my job then right now is to clear it out because, I have all these projects, all these ideologies, whatever, whatever, whatnot, that like they've been sitting on the back burner. Some are projects, I've been working on, you know what I mean? But it's like none of them are like a clear, like go forth, prosper, and put all your time. Like when I published my first book, it was very clear you're writing this book and this is the only thing you have to do in this moment. And so I wrote the first one in like less than 6 months and had it published. It was like a fever dream, but it was so clear. It was just like so concise. Like, that's it. Like, when I moved to the south of France, it was like, this is the place. Like, I didn't even have to question, like, where in the south of France. It's like, here's your town. It's like, and now, yeah, there's just none of that going on in my life right now. Not one iota. It's just like, you could do this. You want to do this. This might be important.
Okay,
Whoa,
so I'm going to help you with that.
please.
Ask your guides. Now you have to ask, they can't help. Ask the guides, the angels, what is it you need?
Hmm.
Not what you want.
I'm writing this down so I remember to ask myself again. What do I need?
What do you need? And
It
that's a
really,
whole
what do I
step,
need?
it's a whole step up. It's a very different way of thinking. What do you need? Because instead of saying, I want, like little kids, because we all do it.
I
I
mean,
do it
I'll do. I'm
still.
picky as fuck of it, you
Yeah,
know.
what do you want? What do you want? Say,
I
what do
want
I
a
need?
dog.
What is it that I
Yeah,
need?
what do I need right now?
What do you need? That's very different. They will give you what you need. You don't always get what you want. You
Can't
may not.
always get what you want. I mean, it's so true, you know. You
I
can't,
know.
but you just always get
But
what you need.
it's a whole different level. When you finally say, give me what I need, or please help me with what I need, the guidance changes.
That's actually very, I don't know. Sometimes the answers are so goddamn simple, but so profound at the same time because it really is. I've been over here like, I can't stand New York. I want to live back in California. I want to do this. I want to publish this novel. Like, what the fuck do I need? Hello, hi. You selfish,
Uh-huh.
you selfish child, you entitled little brat. And I know I can be an entitled little brat. I'm 31 years old, but I still have like the temperament of a 5-year-old sometimes who didn't get her My Little Pony. You know what I mean? Like, at least I'm self-aware of it, but yeah, what
Um,
I need. That's the ticket. There you go.
you know what the KISS principle is?
Mm-mm.
Keep it simple, spirit.
Oh yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. Keep it simple, spirit, because I like to complicate things. I'm my flair for the dramatics come out, and I'm like, where's the theatrics? Where is the golden platter with the horses and the theatrical shenanigans? And it's really not that difficult. It's really not that dramatic, and it's really not that extra.
But we like it.
Yeah.
I don't particularly like conflict, but that's me. My mother loves conflict. She loves conflict. I said, Ma, why do you keep going back to the same doctor? You don't like it there. You don't like the doctor. You don't like the staff. All you do is tell me how much you hate it, and you're arguing with me. Well, I don't know, because I get this one girl, she does things right away from me. And I said, so one would think you really like conflict.
Yeah, I
Starts
mean, I
laughing
think
at
a
me and
lot
she
of
goes, I
people
guess I
do.
do. That's the adrenaline rush that you get from conflict. And that, by the way, is fear.
Yeah,
Because you don't have your inner peace. You're not peaceful. You're not calm. And, you know,
yeah.
I don't worry. I have my moments too. I just don't have them as often as I used to,
I
which
mean,
is
that's
wonderful.
good. I'm in my timeline of my life right now where I really don't really leave the house at the moment. It's hot, it's gross, I don't like New York. And I just kind of like sit and do yoga and kind of hang out all the days, which I've never done before because I don't want conflict and because I don't quite know what I'm supposed to really be doing. I'm just like it's safer for me to just stay in my bubble, which isn't like the answer either. But I do think a lot of people are addicted to conflict. And I mean, this is what I started writing about last night, just like my journey of the first 31 years of my life. Like, I was so assured of myself that, like, I'm in the light path. Like, girl, you were in the playground of hell 24/7 because the chaos was like, you were addicted to the madness of everybody's darkness. Because, like, and I didn't realize it till last night. It was like I always felt so light in the midst of people's darkness because I was always the lightest thing in the darkest place. Like, yeah, that's not actually like that's not healthy at all. So that was a fun realization. But we are like I think a lot of us are addicted to conflict, and so like so many people who come to me for whatever phone therapy and life chats are like, I can't leave this situation or I can't break free from this because, like, yeah, you can. What do you mean? Well, you're not stuck. But, people make excuses, not. Right.
Oh, they do it all the time because guess what? Even though it's horrible, it's what's comfortable. It's become their best friend. They have decided that, yes, I want to change, but they don't want to make the effort to make the change. And
Right.
so they'll stay, and complaining and blaming is easier than doing the work themselves to move out of the situation.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, everybody plays, like, so many people play victim, like, can't take accountability and responsibility, which is a fundamental and societal problem. Uh, we can learn how to not do that in your books. And at least, I mean, I will pat my good old self on the back because I never do that. I'm self-aware enough to know it's always my fault, but that doesn't mean that I've gotten out of like all of that. And I do think it's I can't wait to read your books because I do think it is very tricky at first when you like you give yourself all the tools and you get that self-awareness and you're not blaming and you're not playing victim, but like you still don't really know how to proceed in that new frequency that you're trying to tap into. And it's like you know how to like kind of touch it, but it's like you don't actually know how to move through the world in that because we don't. And that's a whole other learning process. I mean, the fact that you have to get to that point at all, most people never do, but getting to that point is also just like, okay, where now?
It's hard work. It's not easy.
Mm-mm.
It it's simple, but it's not
I
easy.
know
There's a big
exactly.
difference.
Right. We can all break down universal law very simply and blah blah blah, but yes, putting it into practice, like I can talk shit all I want about like the psychology and the philosophy and how it all works fundamentally on a fundamental level, which is like my favorite word. I'm like, fundamentally, this is how it all works. Actually, it's very simple, but it's not easy. It's not easy at
No,
all.
no. You know, I'm going to say something. If you think you're an individual, you're in fear.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the reason is because you're going to be focused on me, 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 me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just me, 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 me. All we are is one little piece of that
We.
jigsaw puzzle.
Right.
What we're trying to do is help all the pieces, which is everybody on the planet, come back into the whole to put that whole jigsaw puzzle back together. We can't do that as long as we're an ego. We don't see the whole picture. So the
Mm-mm.
whole point of following your intuition is because they see the whole picture. They know the steps to take to get. And you may say, I don't want to do that because it doesn't benefit me, ego. However, it will benefit you in some way. You just don't know the answer. That's the other thing. Giving up control.
Brenda.
That's a very hard thing for just about everybody to do, including me. I had a hard time doing it because, I think I know better. And believe me, I can give you some really extreme examples of me not listening to my guides and
Let's get
getting
them.
myself in
Let's
big trouble.
let's hear them.
Okay, so uh, I'm off getting physical therapy, all right? Um, and I'm on the table, and in the Phoenix, Arizona area, we have monsoons, very violent thunderstorms, basically, okay? And dust storms that come through. So where I am, there's a monsoon happening. I ask my guides, when can I leave? They tell me noontime. When I'm done physical therapy, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. The storm has passed. I'm not waiting till noontime. Why do I have to wait till noontime? What's the point? I get in the car. The storm was going in my direction. I cannot tell you, it's a miracle I got home alive and safe. How much water I drove through. Okay, gets better. I blow out the air conditioner. So, 2 days later, we're going to Oceanside, California for vacation. We stop at the repair shop after about 3 hours and a couple $100. They couldn't fix the problem. We had to drive through the Mojave Desert at 120 degrees in the car with no air
You're
conditioning.
lucky you actually didn't perish
We
in
drove through.
both.
Once we got to California, it was fine. We're by the ocean. We didn't need air conditioning. Not a big deal. We have to drive back through the Mojave Desert at 120 degrees, no air conditioning.
No.
I go to the repair shop when we get back 6 hours later and another $600. So a total of 8 hours and about $800, all because
Because you didn't listen.
and I asked. I even asked, and they gave me an answer. Okay? Not smart. Not smart at all.
I can't.
You know, that's a pretty extreme example, by the way. All because I didn't listen. All because I didn't feel like hanging around for 2 hours. That extra 2 hours would have saved me 6 hours at a repair shop and $800.
No, I mean, we literally perpetually make things hard for ourselves when we don't listen, especially like, some people literally aren't even tapped into that part of themselves, but those who are and choose not to listen, like, good luck.
I know. I know.
Good luck testing those fates.
Oh, it's terrible. And it's not the first time I didn't listen. I always go on a rampage and tell them no. Okay, the retreat thing, I only lasted 2 weeks before I
No,
agreed.
it seems like you surrendered pretty quickly to that one.
I did because you know
I'm
what? I
proud of
decided
you.
it's not smart anymore for me not to do what they say.
No, it's just not why. And it doesn't benefit like your actual greater good in general. Like it's just causing
No.
a lot of issues. I mean, God, I'm still fighting the situation I'm in right now, like after France. Like, I was told when I moved to France, like I was living in my favorite place in the entire world. I was in Marin County. I had like the best life I could have ever had, but it wasn't mine, which was like the problem. I was living in someone else's house, like with not my own like money and my own means, but I had everything I've ever dreamed of having, just not mine, right? So like of course I have to leave because I want that for myself. I don't want that like codependently on somebody else's dime, you know what I mean? And we're not in a relationship like that. So it's like, I'm just literally pirating your life and just making it as much of my own. So I was told, they were like, you're gonna end up back in the East Coast. I was like, literally over my dead fucking body. I will die in the south of France before. And like, I'm not kidding. I almost did. And then I was like, I get it. I get it. I'm gonna call my mom. And I called my mom. I was like, yeah, I know I'm 30 and I haven't been home in 12 years, but can you please, mommy, buy me a plane ticket and like take me back? I'm dying. Like, but it's like we fight some of those things sometimes. And now I'm in upstate New York and I have absolutely zero, like less than like negative billion desire to live anywhere near this coast. I want to go back to California, but I mean, there's a reason and there's something I'm supposed to fulfill when I'm here. And I've spent the first 6 months literally fighting it. And you can't. But also, like, I was open to whatever, but like I said, I wasn't asking the right questions. What do I need? I'm just like, the first 3 months I spent crying, throwing a hissy fit, but that doesn't serve you. My whole point of that is what you're saying. It doesn't serve you to just be such a stubborn person. Like, there are reasons for everything. And like, whenever I fulfill this obligation, I know I'm going to get back to being everything I've wanted to be, which is having a life where I can literally go anywhere and do anything, which I did before, but with a lot of stress and like no money in the bank ever. And just, it's so, in a way I don't want to ever live again. So I know this has a reason, but we can't fight it. We can't fight our fate. We can't fight it.
No, but you know what? While you're spending your time in your cocoon, you're healing as well.
Exactly.
You
And it,
need to, sometimes, a lot of the gurus and masters have always spent a lot of time by themselves before they come out. And now I am one who absolutely loves being a hermit. I mean, I love nothing more than to be home. I really love Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday because my husband goes to work out of the house.
oh, isn't that the best? I couldn't
And
even
I
think
get
so
the
much.
whole house to myself. If I feel like taking a nap, I'm going to take a nap, and I don't have to worry about him looking to see if I'm okay. It's very sweet of him to do that. But
Like I'm not dead, I'm just sleeping.
I want to be alone. Daytime sleeping in the family room, nighttime sleeping in the bed. So it's I love it, but I can't do that anymore. I actually have to get out,
You have to go make a
see.
retreat now.
I have to go build a retreat. Yes.
But that's
And
beautiful though when you have, I mean, but I agree. Being a hermit is literally, it scares me how much I enjoy it because like I don't ever really want to. I mean, my apartment's gorgeous. I may not like upstate New York, I may not like the East Coast, but I love my little palace. I built myself a pretty palace and I made it beautiful because like, and I don't leave, I don't go any, I just refuse to leave it at this point.
Yeah, well, that's okay. I
It's
mean,
okay.
do your hermit thing and cocoon, I call it, and do the healing that you need to do and ask what is it you need, not what
Mhm.
you want. There's a difference,
Yeah,
big,
yeah,
huge.
yeah,
What
yeah,
I want down here, what I need up here. Big, huge
yeah.
difference. It
Uh,
is.
I know it is. So yeah, so now you're in your process of retreating. So you're not allowed to be a hermit. You got to go build community. You got to
I have to get out. When I move there, I have to get out and do some, community meeting people, and none of this I enjoy, by the way. It's not true, actually. I do enjoy it more than I used to. It's just, I got to get out and speak about the retreat and crystal healings and what's coming about, and because it's dedicated to healing the mind, understanding the difference between love and fear. And let's face it, how many people actually want to talk about that? Like, no one really. It's very important.
I do.
I know it's important. It's as simple as,
Like I'm the one kid in the class like, "Hello me. I
Mhm.
do. Hello."
Yeah. I mean, it's as simple as if you make a judgment about somebody, right? And you don't like their hair, you know what? That's a reflection on you.
Truly.
So guess what? That's fear. I
Mhm.
mean, these are all the little things that, it winds your way in. And my book presents things in a very different way of thinking.
I mean, I'm very excited to read it because I do feel like, I mean, I just had someone on last week who was talking about love and fear. I mean, I feel like that's the basis of like pretty much everything in general, but it's so interesting because everybody has a different take on how to tackle it or what to do with it or how to communicate it. And I like the way you're communicating it because it sounds attainable. And, I mean, it's all attainable, but it really is the way of communication. Like you said before, you want to be able to communicate with everybody. And I think it's all
Yeah.
how you communicate it in a way that resonates with people. And actually, because there is so many things like this is fear, this is love, and it's like, okay, well now what? Like, okay, thank you. Thank you.
But I'm coming from a place of love. And
Exactly.
because I'm coming from a place of love and it's for your benefit and mine as well,
Well, yeah.
it resonates. I'm basing it all on universal truths. There is nothing more than that. And my guides direct me as to what I'm supposed to say, and that is what hits the largest, broadest audience possible. Will you buy my book? I would love it, but it's not the main goal. The main goal is to spread the message. And then if you want to learn more, you get the book, or you could get Disappearance of the Universe, or go straight to A Course in Miracles. It doesn't really matter. As long as you're learning and getting the message, excuse me, so that you can understand how things affect you in your life.
She is.
Excuse me.
Bless you or cough you or whatever. Like, I don't know. Cough
Oh
or
yeah, if I have
coffee,
a
I don't know.
sneezing fit, you're gonna know I've had a sneezing fit.
Oh, when I
5
do.
sneezes in a row. Yep. Oh yeah, and then I go, oh no, oh no, and I really want to sneeze.
Everyone tells me I sound like a little kitten. They're like, "Are you serious with your sneezes? Why don't you make noise?" I'm like, "I'm not a little
Oh, I sound like a boom, a boombox going on.
cat."
I'm a little person, and for a little person, I make a lot of noise.
I mean, me too, but not in my sneezes. But see, now I just got totally distracted. I was gonna ask you something, but we got off. Okay, but yes, people should buy your books. Yeah, I'm gonna start with yours. I'm not gonna start with, I mean, I know some things about Course in Miracles just from listening to YouTube about it and like listening to Course in Miracle, like meditation. People have made like their whole MO based on what they learned there. So, but let's do yours because I like you. I know you. I don't know this Course in Miracles person. So you're going to be a priority in my mind because I've actually communicated with you.
Thank you, thank you. And A Course in Miracles is all about forgiveness, but it's about the type of forgiveness where you understand that no one has done anything wrong. We are all innocent.
Well, that's
That's a
true.
big step for a lot of people.
Yeah, that's like a really easy one for me. I don't know why, but I know it's really that one I'm like, yeah,
And it's about
so great.
undoing the ego. You cannot make friends with the ego. You can't pretend you love the ego. You can't stuff it and pretend it doesn't exist. The ego must be undone. And in general, it must be undone slowly,
Mm-hmm.
not
Exactly.
quickly because it's too shocking and it won't last. It'll just all come back anyways. See, slowly, don't rush. Okay, so I will say if you want to rush through my book, rush through the book, but go back and read it again
Yeah,
slowly.
no, I won't. I'm learning to slow things. I mean, if you know me and you've known me to have to even not like be rushing around my life right now is like huge strides. I am just chilling. I sleep till noon if I feel like it. I wake up at 6 when I feel like it. I don't like I'm just chilling. I've never not really had an agenda ever in my life. Like even I mean, I've never worked for another person, so not in that aspect. Like, but like I've always had agendas for myself and been like, that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're gonna go here and blah blah blah. So yeah, so I feel like, I'm naturally slowing. I don't always love it though. I do feel it gets me a little antsy. It gets a little, but sometimes I love it. Sometimes I'm like, I'm not doing a goddamn thing for 5 days, and no one's gonna tell me that's wrong.
I know. My problem is boredom. I have a big issue with
I don't need to be
boredom.
bored. Yeah.
But I can sit and do nothing for long periods of time. Believe me, in long periods of time, I don't mean just a few hours. I could do it for a few days,
No, same. But then
but
again,
I need a project.
yeah.
So, retreat's my project now.
I'm like really excited to hear. And what a beautiful place too, like the San Luis Obispo. I mean, like Avila Beach is like my favorite little beach down there. It's like next.
Oh yeah, I haven't been. We haven't been to it. We did Pismo Beach, of
Okay.
course.
Avila is like even better because it's like because Pismo I like Pismo Beach a lot, but it is kind of like Jersey Shore-ish with all the rides and stuff.
Right, it's busy.
Yeah. Villa is like beautiful and it has like a cute, but there's like really good restaurants there too. There's like a really good French place like overlooking the ocean without like the like touristy vibes. It's very chill. It's very California.
Yeah.
Gotta go.
As my husband, our pace of life is going, not that it was that busy, by the way, or that fast, but it is going to slow down even more than it has.
I
Luckily,
mean, the best place to slow down is California though. It's the only
yeah.
place I'm comfortable slowing down in the world.
Yeah, so we're going to be in a Atascadero, and we've gotten a house with 5 acres of land and lots of the old oak trees.
Well, you're gonna be communicating with those spirits.
I have to have trees. That's just one of the things for me. I mean, we live in the Phoenix, Arizona, the desert, and my yard here has a zillion trees, and I mean a lot, which is very unusual.
That is unusual. I didn't know like Phoenix had a lot of trees.
Actually, we do.
Like,
I love the desert, and I'm going to tell you what I love about the desert. The desert is an interesting place because all the plants are such a variety. The leaves, the colors are very different. The shapes are all very different. I mean, people think, ooh, cactus. But if you actually look at a cactus and its
they're
thorns,
beautiful.
and the beautiful flowers that bloom out of each of the cactuses in the spring. I mean, it's just a fascinating place. I mean, the beauty of it, the openness and the beauty radiating from the land. Okay, we're kind of a concrete jungle now, but in
Yeah,
where I live, which has a little more land and I have
yeah.
trees, so it's quite beautiful. So for people who don't like the desert, yes, it's hot, miserably hot,
No,
but
I
it,
mean, I just wouldn't go there in the summer, but like that doesn't mean it sucks the rest of the year.
well, June, July, August, September, 4 months for sure.
Yeah.
Quite hot.
I mean, I've been to Phoenix once, like literally for like an hour when I was on a train, but I have been to like Sedona, which is absolutely gorgeous, breathtaking, amazing. And I've been to like Mesa, which is great, beautiful, breathtaking, amazing. So, and I've spent some time in like the New Mexico desert. So I do like and I think, I don't know, I think the life that survives there it's so resilient. Like you have to be resilient to like cactuses, all these plants and animals and
Yeah.
things that like they really are resilient. They're like sun is burning, I hardly have water and I'm thriving and I am here and I don't know. And it's an interesting climate.
It is an interesting climate. It's a good place to clear out and get ready for the next adventure.
I guess that's what I'm doing in upstate New York, and I'm not sure that it is, but we're gonna take it in stride.
You're gonna take it in stride. You're gonna go,
I
it's
miss my
for my
fucking kids
highest
so
good.
bad. Like I just miss California so much, so much. And everyone's like, you could literally move back tomorrow. And I'm like, I could. I have enough money right now that yes, but like I'm just like, I'm not supposed to yet. And it breaks my goddamn heart into a million pieces.
Okay, you have to get to the point where you no longer break your heart, and then it will happen.
I know. I'm working on it, embracing it a little bit more. But you know what? Yeah, exactly. You just gotta take it in stride and make the most of it. I'm really enjoying my palace, so it is what it is. This is where you did it in the desert. I'm here cleansing right now and Lake Lakelandia.
What's Lakelandia? Is
I,
that where you are?
I don't know. It's called. Well, I'm actually in like Saratoga Springs. We just have a lot of lakes.
Oh, how
But
nice.
Lakelandia, that's yeah, that could be a new town.
Sure. I like the name.
I like it too. It sounds like, it could be a show. Like here, okay, Netflix, if you're listening, I have this reality show for you. It's called Lakelandia, where you get all the lake dwellers and you put them on a lake and you watch the shit they do and you create a lot of drama. There you go, Lakelandia. I deserve I deserve the payment for that because that was my great idea. You're welcome, Netflix. Love you, bye. Horse races, pitch me, give me a show. Horse races, Lakelandia and the horse races. This is a whole series now about Saratoga Springs that I'm never gonna make, but hey, Netflix, that's on you. If you want to make Lakelandia, here for
Sounds good. I like the name. Don't worry, one day it's going to show up and they're going to go, ah, I
I'm gonna be like, I did that.
remember
I created it. I'm gonna just say I'm coming at you for rights if it happens. Let it be known on this day, 7/16/2024, suing you.
that. Yep.
No, I mean,
So much fun.
I don't want to sue anybody. Oh God. All right. Well, that was fun. All right. So what else do you want to share with us before our like last 10 minutes are over?
Yes,
Yes.
I'm going to ask you guys to do another exercise out of my book. All right. Now, for this exercise, I want you to, after I tell you what the exercise is, all you have to do is come up with the very first word, just one word that pops into your head. Okay? Just one word. All right? Ready? You're in a white room, white ceiling, white walls, white floors, and simple white chairs. What's the first thing that you get?
Balloon.
Balloon. All right, that's a new one on me.
I don't even think about balloons, but
Okay, balloons it is.
I don't know why.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, now what does that mean? What does this say about me?
Flighty.
Hell yes, I'm the flightiest person you ever know, baby. Try to tie me down, I will run right
Okay, so now you got to remember this exercise, and to do the three wishes, ones or two, and you can do the last one if we want, and do them again in a few months to see if your answers change. Now I'm going to tell you when I did the white room one, the first word that came to mind was boredom.
Oh no.
Yeah.
At least I'm flying away.
But now the word that comes to mind is peaceful.
I like that.
Okay, so it just depends.
Yeah, I mean, different days. I could have, one day it might be cat. Mine are all
Yeah.
objects though, but objects represent words. All right, so what's the last exercise then? You gave
The
these.
last exercise is you need to tell me what your favorite character is. And that character can be from a book or a movie or just whatever you love. What is your favorite character and why?
That is so difficult because I'm such a glutton for like books and cinema and
No, you have to come up with one character. Sorry.
fuck.
One character.
Okay.
Oh,
All
man.
right, all right, all right. I will do the first one that we got. Eric Northman, Alexander Skarsgård, True Blood, vicious, psychopathic, gorgeous murderer. Funny.
My favorite character is Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, Groot is so sweet.
I know,
I
exactly.
picked a fucking sociopathic
Yeah,
murder.
you would.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now you have to do these exercises again in a few months to see what your answers
But also
changed.
he's a very deep murderer. He was also, his life was stolen from him. He was a Viking god. His parents got murdered in front of him. He's got a vengeance and bloodlust. I mean, can you blame him? He's also very
But at
strong.
some point, you got to give it all up. Sorry, you can't be the victim forever.
I know, and he can't also be a bloodlusting. But
Well, you can, but I wouldn't recommend it.
All right, so maybe I'll have a new character next. The Little Tramp, Charlie Chaplin. It's not really.
Okay.
It's just like who he is, though.
Yeah, that's not so exciting.
Yeah. Let's see.
What's your favorite movie?
I can't possibly ever answer that question. That's an evil question. I have so many.
Okay, my favorite movie is The Fifth Element.
Okay.
And guess why?
Why?
Because at the end, what saves the day? Love.
Love. I don't know. I have so many favorite movies. It depends on the category. Like, what's my favorite film noir? Diabolique. What's my favorite like black and white movie?
You do pick dark ones.
I love the darkness. I really like dark shit.
Apparently.
Like what's my favorite 80s movie? Blue Velvet, like very dark as well. I
I figured, but I had no clue what it was. Never seen it.
David
I
Lynch,
don't.
very dark.
I don't tend to the darkness, I must admit.
And I always like I don't want to like live a dark life, but I love dark arts, like artistry. Like I like film noirs. I don't know, it's something about the suffering and the emotion. That's like it's enjoyable to me. I like reading sad books about sad people.
It's intense. The
It's intense. I love the
intensity.
intensity. I'm like obsessed with intensity, good or bad, like intensity of exhaustion. Like it can be a positive intensity, but if it's not intense, I'm literally just like I don't want anything to do with it. I don't know what that says about me. I don't know if that's a good or bad. I don't think anything is inherently good or bad. It just is. I like the intensity and like ferocity of emotions. I mean that's why I like of any place in the world, my favorite place is the Bay Area, California. And people are like, well, why that coastline? And I'm like, because the intensity and the monstrosity of like the waves, the sleep of waves and the death at the ocean, like just like how powerful of a force like those shorelines are, it calms me down. It's the most brilliant masterpiece I've ever seen in my life. They're like, what
Well,
about?
now, being near the ocean, all those negative ions, they're going to clear you out big time.
Oh, I love the ocean. I'm an ocean person. Like I've
Mhm.
always, I grew up on an island. I moved to California. I lived in the Mediterranean, which is a sea, not an ocean. But I always am by the water. I think that's why I don't like love it. I mean, that's exactly why I don't necessarily love it here. I'm by lakes, and lakes don't really like do this. They don't do the same thing for me, but
Right. Yeah.
I'll get back to the ocean as soon as I get over my insanity of whatever we talked about today. As soon as I stop, like you said, as soon as I stop fucking crying about it, like, and just ask for what I need, because like it's not like I couldn't, like I said, it's not like I couldn't do it. It's just like I don't want to do it and perpetuate the same cycle of like just spiraling out and doing everything and not knowing like what I actually need to put my energy into. because I could write a book. I mean, I am writing a book right now, but it's like, it's like I could do this, I could do that, but yeah, I wanna have the solidity of what do I need before I go back to the place I want to call home. I don't want to be this.
Yeah.
I don't want to go back to my home with the same questions and the same insecurities and the same doubts and the same what am I doing. So we'll save that for the lakes for Lakelandia.
Like Lindy, I like it.
All right. So if anyone wants, we got cindybuckley.com. It's very easy. Are your books on like Amazon and stuff like that?
My books are on Amazon, yep.
Okay, cool.
Ebook, paperback, audiobook. Audiobook for just the first one, not the
Did you
second one.
record the audio yourself?
No, I got an invite from Amazon to do an AI book. All I did was say, I accept, because it was a beta program, and 4 hours later, I had a book. I
Amazing.
love it. I think, I'm not a big fan of AI, but man, that was just
And
so
it
easy.
honestly serves its purpose for a lot of things. I think
Yeah,
it's like
it does.
God for the podcast software I have right now, which I used to spend like tens of hours like cutting up this podcast and making snippets for social media. Now I pay $30 a month. I put it in a computer. They generate all the clips for me in about 5 minutes. And so I think it's good for some things. I think it's good for some things.
5 minutes. Oh my God, so easy.
I know it's so bad. I took like a 6 month hiatus because I was like, I literally can't spend my whole life chopping this fucking podcast into pieces. And it's like, here you go, 5 minutes. I'm like, God bless the AI gods for that one. Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah, I actually don't want to do a podcast because I don't want to do all the technology stuff, editing. I don't want to learn. I don't want to do it. That's it. I'm happy being a guest. I love being a guest. Someone else asks the questions and they get to figure
Well,
out how to
you're a
make it
great
work.
guest, so it works out. And
Oh, thank
I
you.
love being a host because I love for everything to be my show. So, but it's
Hey, I'm very happy other people like doing it.
uh,
No idea how happy I don't have to do it. People say, why don't you
you're
have
a
your
great
own? I don't
guest.
want.
It is. It's a lot of responsibility, although, like,
Yeah.
not so much with guests. Now I just get to talk to people. It's the best thing for a hermit girl because I don't have to go outside to have
I
conversations.
know, really.
I
Makes it
don't even
so
have to like
easy.
try to pretend that I like belong in this community right now. I just build my own with you guys. Great people who systematically like you found me. So love it. But yeah, get hosting is not for everyone. But you've been a wonderful guest, so I think you're doing the right thing and you got your treat coming. So do we have like a newsletter on your thing? We can follow you for updates or
Well, what I have on my website's a free meditation, free guided meditations, about 5.5 minutes. You will do it a few times, well, once a day is good, and it'll help you to feel calmer. I also have my monthly blog where I take an inspirational saying and I explain it out, just short, 3, 4 paragraphs at the most, and it helps you to apply it to your everyday life. Um, I get bored, as I've said. So right now I'm into asking questions. Are you happy? What do you want? Are you feeling peaceful? I think was this month's. And I write them a block at a time. And so I've written through December. Now, starting in January, I think my next one is my first book, Cosmic Unity, has lots of exercises in it. And I'm going to take one of those exercises each month and explain it out, how it helps and how
I
to do it in more detail.
very fun. Okay, so you heard it first, everybody. CindyBuckley.com is basically the mecca for all the things and all the stuff. So check
Yes.
it out. And do you have any parting messages you want to share with our collective beings?
Yes, trust your intuition. You hear a strange voice in your head, don't discard it. You start to see flashing lights out the side of your eyes, don't discard it. Someone says something and it puts a light bulb off in your head, don't discard it. You get a feeling in your tummy, good or bad, follow it. Don't discard it. Trust your intuition.
Beautiful. Thank you so much and for coming and This was a very fun episode. I highly enjoyed this, and
Oh, thank you. Me too. We had a lot of laughs. That's a good thing.
I love to laugh. It's my favorite medicine. So thank you for coming. Thank you everyone for listening to the Layla Show. Like, subscribe, follow us, share us, be our guest, be our motherfucking guest. Email me, DM me, whatever. You can come on too. I love you all. Keep being magical, weird, yourself, authentic. Don't settle for less than your authentic selves. Bing, bing, pew, pew. Love you. Ciao.